Alright folks, welcome back to Let's Play Sailwind. This is episode 10 and we've got an exciting one this time because we are finally going to be upgrading our Dhow. I've done a teeny tiny bit of research on this, but like with the rest of this series, we're pretty green with everything. We're trying everything for the first time really. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do, and I'm also not entirely sure how well she's going to sail. So of course we will attempt a maiden voyage eventually to see how we get on, but obviously we're taking a bit of a risk here because no matter what we do, it's going to be expensive. We will eventually be taking our Dhow across to a different archipelago. The Emeralds archipelago is what we have in sights. So I definitely think a maiden voyage back and forward from a comfortable island is what we need to be doing. So I'm just going to reverse us back and into the shipyard. If you'd rather skip and go straight to the shipyard, I will of course add chapters, so you're welcome to do that. But if you'd like to see some stylish reverse sailing, then I suggest you hang around. We're going to release the sheet, and we're going to open up just a little bit of sail. We are going to remove our bow line, remove our stern line, and she's just slowly starting to head backwards now, waiting for the sail to pick up a little bit. Maybe I can encourage that. As you can see, we are starting very stylishly here. Being sure not to whack anything on the way back. And when I say reversing, obviously I mean we're going astern. We use all the correct terminology here at Shipwreck Sean. That sounded like a little bump. So to those of you that have hung around for this, you're probably starting to regret that and wishing that you had just skipped straight to the shipyard. But where is the fun in that, right? So we're going to keep slowly reversing until our bow clears this wall here, and then we can start a little turn, but then we're going to pull our sheet in until our Dhow doesn't want to turn anymore. When she's straight as she is now, straighten up the helm and turn right, starboard. Let out a little bit of sail just to encourage that. And as you can see, she is slowly turning for us. Maybe if I use my body weight, it will encourage just a little bit more. Just like that. Easy peasy. Dried orange slice, squeezy. And now we will bus her in again. Pull up the sail now because we've got enough forward momentum. I don't think we strictly have to use our bow and stern line to head into the shipyard. We might as well give it a little go anyway, because for those of you who have been following this channel, I could use the practice. Actually, we're going to hit the wall, just going to encourage her out a little bit. She seems to want to go to port, and then I'm going to make the great leap. Oh yeah, you can't get past this crane. I'm going to make the great leap across here, and as I say, you don't necessarily need to do that when you're using the shipyard. You could just plough her straight into this ramp and head straight along. So let's start the fun. Alright sir. And there's why you don't need to use any of the bollards. So let's get a better view here. So first things first, we want to start afresh. So we're going to remove our small lateen. I've been calling it lantine this whole time. For 10 episodes I've been saying lantine. So yet again, I apologise. We're off to a good start. Remove that. And we've got a nice little refund of 12 Alank Lions. Total 23 so far, 35. I think we've got about maybe 1500 Alank Lions. Should be enough to do what we need to do. So before we add sails, we're going to need to go into the mast section because we're going to want a bowsprit, which is here. Click bowsprit, and now we have a lovely pointy end. And that's going to allow us to add a forestay that goes on the end of the bowsprit, and another forestay that you can see hooks onto the edge against the bow. I'm sure there's a boaty term for that, but I think I'm going to go for a tall mast because my research tells me that it's a little bit risky in terms of potentially capsizing, but it gives us a lot more play with our sail choices, and as long as we sail smart, we shouldn't capsize. I recommend taking a soundbite of this point in the series because that might bite me in the stern later on. So with the tall mast, we can now select high forestay, and we're also going to select short forestay because the plan is to have 2 jibs. I'm not too sure what the terms are. I think this one would be the jib, and then this one up here, depending on the size, would be the spinnaker or Genoa. That could be completely wrong, so I'll do the YouTube thing and say please leave a comment down below and let me know what the actual terms are for that. But either way, we want a smaller jib and a larger jib out here. We really enjoyed the lateen sails, but I think I'm going to go for a gaff because that is what I know in real life. I know gaffs and luggers a little bit of each, and I believe the gaff is going to get us a lot more speed in the long run, and if we plan on heading out across the ocean, then speed is going to be our friend. And one last thing, one little piece of advice I picked up from a Reddit user was to get rid of our little house at the back, what do you want to call it, the cloth roof, because apparently it can catch the wind every now and then. I don't know how bad it is, but I don't know, it seems to make the boat look a little bit bigger, I guess, at least the hull space. With the roof, obviously we can do a little bit of role playing and pretend we are hiding from the storm and the wind, but our character seems pretty weatherproof. I've fallen in the water a couple of times and he's fine when he gets back in. So with that in mind, we are now ready to go for the fun stuff, and that is sails. So we've got 3 options here. We've got our main mast, and then we've got our high forestay and short forestay. So as I say, I want to go for a gaff on the main mast. We've got a few options here. We don't want a short gaff because a short gaff will stop around here, whereas a regular gaff will go out to around this point, which is kind of what we want. I feel like we'll be a bit too centered with a short gaff. I mean, just to show you, that's what the short gaff will look like. And actually it doesn't look too bad, but I would rather this boom came right back. So if I add a regular gaff here, see what 8 looks like. That's quite large, but that could be an option. Let's have a look at the smaller one. That feels too small. I mean, that would be okay if we just had one jib going in here, but I would like two. So I am going to put this in for now. Do we need to move that up at all? No, let's keep it as low as possible, because I think that might help us in terms of preventing any capsizing. Actually, I'm going to wait until I've got my jibs set up first, and then we'll see how it looks. So we will go staysails. The large Dhow jib is an option I've seen some YouTubers and Reddit users use, but it's not going to work with the configuration I'm going for. So for this shorter stay, we're going to go for the cutter jib. That's already looking good. Do we like that colour? Oh, I like black. It will be harder to see at night though, but I do like that. I'll regret it, but we're going with what we like. And then for our high forestay, we will add cutter jib 1. Okay, 753 lions, so getting expensive already. Does changing the colour, maybe we'll have that a slightly lighter colour, and then that way we might be able to tell them apart, and also we'll be able to tell if the physics are kind of going through each other. I think there's collision physics in the shipyard, but there's not necessarily collision physics when you're out at sea. Again, that's something I might be wrong about, but from my experience, it doesn't seem to cause any issues. So yeah, they're crossing over right now, but when we're actually at sea, we'll be controlling the sheets, and that won't be much of a problem. So we're paying attention to where the stays meet onto our main mast here, the tall one. And let's have a look at our mainsail. If I'm butchering all the sailing terminology, I apologise. So for a mainsail, we want to go for the gaff, and our options were 6 or 8. There's short gaffs, which we don't want. Topsail gaffs, but I think they're going to be too big, because the 8-yard one was already pretty huge. What about a little 4-yard? Maybe if... I mean, that looks quite cute, but I don't feel like it's coming back far enough for us to really make a difference when we're going downwind. If you can hear any cat noises in the background, that is Bonnie, who this Dhow is named after. She's very much the mascot of this channel. So the 8-yard, which now feels too big, or the 6-yard, which makes sense. Okay, choices. Black again, just to give that pirate feel. What could we do? We want to fill something here. Can we add a top sail? Like, because you know how there's the gaff option that comes with the top sail? There doesn't seem to be a shorter one. But whereas if you use like the top sail gaff, it adds one here, but that's obviously far too large for the Dhow. There's nothing in other. Well, actually, we could do something a little bit crazy. How would a small square sail look? Okay, that says small, but that's quite large. 3.5 yards. How would a teeny tiny little square sail look? here just to fill the space. I mean, it's not the prettiest, but we would really be cooking going downwind. It kind of deals with this gap here, because obviously when we're pulling in the sheets, it will fill in this space. I think I'm going to go for that. Again, we are taking a risk here. I really thought I was just going to go for one jib and a gaff. But then I've been looking online and I've seen some images of the double jib and I just thought, that looks fun. And I'm not going to lie, folks, this looks fun. Since our upper jib is light grey, we'll make our square sail light grey as well. Alright. Why is that? Okay, sorry, I saw the red for a second and thought, that must mean there's a collision or something, but there's no message of collision over here. Do we want to clean the hull? 945? Is that worth it? Does cleaning the hull make a difference? Does it make you any faster? Or is it just visual? I'm going to keep that off for now, because I am Scottish and we are penny pinchers. I'd like to save as much money as possible. I think we're good. I'd like to do something about the hammock, because I would like to bring a proper bed at some point, but I think that will just do for now. What do we think of the new improved SS Bonnie? Sailing ship Bonnie. Yeah, okay. Let's give it a little whirl, I think. I haven't saved anything, so we're not fully committed yet. But let's give her a little spin about and see how she does. Okay. Are we reverse? Are we going astern or are we going forward a touch? The wind is coming into our beam. So let's... Oh, what have we got here? What's this? Okay, that's the big jib. We'll call it the spinnaker. That's pulling us forward a touch. Can we pull it in here? Race back to the helm. Oh, swing her about. Okay, let's make heads or tails of what on earth we have just done. That seems too far out. Will that come in and tighten? Yes, it will. Not luffing or anything. Okay, so our winch on the starboard side is our most forward sail, or the large jib. So this will be the smaller one, and that needs to be pulled in around here, because we want that to catch the wind in front of our... Sorry, I'm using literally so many brain cells right now. But I mean, that to me feels fast already, and we've not even got the mainsail up. Oh, some more toys from earlier. Are we going to crash? Pull that round. And we're going to shove our toys in here just for now. Water bottle, water bottle. We've got our quadrant. And we have our knife. Okay. So she is turning on her own, but I think that's because jibs on their own will turn the boat into the direction the wind is going, I believe. So we are going to release the gaff. Oh, that's pretty. So you actually haul the gaff up as opposed to the lateen, in which you release to lower. So it makes more sense now that we've got halyard coming from haul yard, because we're hauling the gaff yard up here. And now we have a boom, which if you remember from episode 1, I was calling this a boom. Now we actually have a boom. Right, okay, so we really want to test the Bonnie in a bit of a close haul. We can squeeze a bit more out of that, I think. Right, we have a close haul, which means main sheet in as much as possible, already in. And then, does this make much of a difference? This doesn't seem to make much of a difference at this point in time. I don't think that makes a difference unless we tack. So maybe I want to pull these right in. Release that a touch. Yeah. It seems the larger one seems to be luffing quite a bit. But let's just see how we get on there. I don't have the compass. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're heading... We'll turn her into a direction we can track a little bit better. So we've got her heading south-southwest. And let's see if she's going to turn. She is turning towards south, which would be leeward. So I believe if we release a little bit of the gaff, that might deal with that problem. Let's see, let's turn her back to a close haul. She is turning a lot faster than I'm used to. And let's just observe for a second. Seems to be holding a little bit better, but to me, she's still turning. She's still turning into the direction that the wind is going. So maybe when we're close hauling, do we just want one jib out? Like if we pulled in our smaller jib, and then we can tighten this jib up fully. That seems to be holding, but we'll get back to our line of reference, south-southwest. Okay, let's let go of the helm and observe. South-southwest. Let's see. Perhaps using two jibs in a close haul is something we need to learn. It's not something I've it's not something I'm used to. She seems to be holding this a little bit better, and of course I'm tired. Which I suppose actually gives me a great excuse to go to sleep and see if she holds course on a close haul whilst I'm sleeping. I suppose that will be the main test. Oh, and we've not even tried the topsail yet, but I think the topsail will be reserved for sailing downwind. Focus on our main winch here. Perhaps she's pulling downwind, but the better test will be... Oh, we have a hanging lantern. Can you live here for now? No. There we go. Or maybe here. Yep. Pop you there. Okay, we'll do the snooze test. Usually, as I say, you will see an edit at this point, but we're all in this together in this episode. I put a poll up for this for those who are joining me for the first time today, and it seems the overwhelming opinion was to upgrade the Dhow rather than buy the sandbuck. So as I say, we're all in this together. This is very much your doing, folks. And I don't know, I feel a lot of nerves, but I'm also quite excited. It's like entering the unknown a little bit. Right, we have woken up. It's dark. I would like to see my sails a bit better, but oh, would you look at that? She's held position. How far away from Gold Rock? That's okay. So that's going to give us an opportunity. Let's see here. Where's our... I'm going to take this lantern and just see if I can pop it here somewhere. Or on the side of the main mast. Just so I can get a better look at the wind direction. We'll get a new lantern in case that goes out. I think we're going to attempt attack and see how she holds up. So we're not going super fast, so we've got a bit of a slow tack here, which is a great test. I believe we need to release our jib whilst we're doing this on both sides. We're into the wind. Right, so we didn't do too well there. Or have we done well here? Oh, she's done alright actually. I'm just being a negative Nancy. She's done okay. A little bit slow, but I think that was just because of the time we chose. And it seems as... Okay, so that sail is fully released. It just didn't look like it because it was matching up with the with the jib below it, so I thought it was half furled up there. But no, let's look out. I could hear a little bit of luffing there, unless that was just the sound of wood crashing, which we're used to here at Shipwreck Sean. How are we doing for food and water? We'll have some of these orange slices because we're still combating our vitamin deficiency. I don't want to be eating too many full oranges just yet because they were expensive. They sent me back about 400 Alank lions, and that stung a little bit considering I just scrimped on a hull clean for like 100 lions or thereabouts. I would rather it was daytime to get a better look. Okay, right, we're going to release. We're going to release. We're going to release. And we're going to try a little bit of a beam reach. How are we holding? How are you holding? Not the tightest, but I think I'm okay with that. It looks alright from out here, from our view here. Perhaps it would be better since... Yeah, I think it would actually be better if we were using the smaller jib. So we're going to pull that in. We're going to head round and release the smaller jib. I'll learn the terms for the next episode. Alright. I'm liking this, folks. You could say I'm having a good time. So I guess the final test would be to head... Well, I guess we could head more in this direction, northeast, and try and get a little bit of upwind sailing. And see what kind of speeds we're going to hit. Okay, doke. Wind is behind us, so we can release our gaff a little bit. I say a little bit, maybe a lottle. Let's just get her right out for a bit of fun. Maybe that's too much. In. One jib out. Two jib out. Oh, I like the look of that. I really do. I know you probably can't see much in the dark, but oh, that looks nice. And I suppose the creme de la creme. How do I release the topsail? Well, that's a sheet. Is it round? Ah, okay. Right, okay. So we... And now we are full beans. How is she handling that? Still going perfectly northeast. I think we've got some speed. How quickly does she turn? Oh! Oh! Oh guys, I am having a great time. Okay. Okay. I know I've made a few tongue-in-cheek jokes about the pole, but my gosh, you guys were right. This is a hell of a lot of fun. Oh, I can't wait to go for a proper sail. I cannot wait. I suppose the final test now is going to be docking, which I'm already pretty horrendous at, but we'll give it a go. And then in the next episode we will do a proper sail. We're going to give her a little clean, since we scrimped out on cleaning the outer hull. We're not willing to spend the money, but we're willing to put the elbow grease in. It's about the man hours here. I can't imagine the sound of me vigorously slamming my right mouse button is great for ASMR, but there we go. I'll need to think about kind of where I want everything to be. And without the cloth roof, like, we'll be able to do celestial navigation a lot better without it getting in the way. Although I am going to miss having the opportunity to hide underneath. It does feel cosy. But then it's not exactly immersion breaking, considering we sleep in a hammock hanging off the back of the boat. So, as I say, our floaty character here is okay with a little bit of weather. Look at that turn, look at the speed. Right, we're back to beam reach. So we can haul in. I'm going to have to get used to all the winches. Haul in our gaff to about 45 degree. which now seems a bit easier to make out with the boom. And I think we can pull both our jibs in. So we're going to pull the shorter one in a touch and pull the larger one in. We don't want it coming through the other sail. And we're just going to completely get rid of the top sail for now, because I will completely forget about that when I'm going into port. I can sense it already. But this is fun. There's so much more to play with. Did I miss a spot? Okay. Don't need this anymore. And we'll nap when we get to Gold Rock, and then deal with our hunger and thirst when we get there. So we were actually going quite fast without the gaff, right? Even though she was turning on her own. So I think if I get rid of the gaff and then just hold the helm, we'll be able to come into port just like that. I should have tried maybe tack it. Yeah, look, she's wanting to turn leeward on her own, even with holding the helm. So we'll keep the helm slightly to port now, just to keep her going straight. But it's good to get to know these things, especially in preparation for our ocean voyage, which is surely just a few episodes away now. So we're getting there. I suppose whilst I'm sailing back, I'd like to run an idea past everyone. I was thinking about chucking, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7, I don't know, maybe 5 episodes together, just as a big bonanza episode, for those that quite enjoy having long haul episodes. I know I personally like to do that when I'm playing Sailwind and not recording. I like to have a longer video on, either on a second monitor or on my phone, just so it's playing away whilst I'm sailing. When you're not doing anything, there's often downtime in this game. So you know the kind of videos I mean, you know the whole, you see them all the time. It's like, people generally call them like fall asleep to, but I don't think it does well for my own personal marketing if I'm saying fall asleep to Shipwreck Sean. But yeah, a big bonanza episode. I wonder how that would be received. So yeah, you can let me know. We're not going too fast. We seem to be going a lot quicker when we came out of the shipyard. I think maybe I haven't quite worked out how to configure our jibs for a beam reach. It would help if I could get a better look without pressing C. But we'll deal with it for now. Slightly racing against our energy, but we have no missions or anything active at this moment in time. So it's not a problem. And I think when I get closer to the dock, I think I will pull in our larger sheet. We're about to lose this lantern, which was the one on our starboard side, and then just do the rest of it with the, larger jib. We'll do the rest of it with the smaller jib. I think. That's what this episode's all about. Learning. Was there a hook on that? No. Honestly, I get distracted too easily. Dangle keys in front of me or give me something shiny and that's me, my mind is gone. Right, so I think we can turn our heading more towards the dock now. And take it from here. What did we just say we were going to do? Yeah, there we go. That fishing hook just distracted me. We're going to pull in the larger jib. or foremost jib. I think for the purposes of the rest of this episode, we'll say that's the spinnaker and this is the jib. But I will make sure I learn the terms for the next episode. Or again, let me know in the comments if you happen to know yourself. Oh, sorry, I got a fright there. That's the lantern gone. I've never seen that happen in game before. Put that in our inventory so we don't forget about it. And we will fire on this little guy, which doesn't do much down there actually. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine by me. Just slowly easing ourselves in. Yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy this, folks. I'm certainly going to enjoy this. There we go, just head her slightly more towards the dock. I've been turning too late when I've been mooring. Got a bit of luffing there. The wind is behind us again actually. So does that mean we can pull in? Still a bit of luffing, but I think we've still caught the wind. Yeah, we're still moving quite fast actually. But yeah, looking back at previous episodes, I turn far too late when I'm heading towards the dock. I mean, I really should have come down this way and started my turn here, so I've got a longer approach. As I say, it's all learning. And we have a bowsprit as well, which we need to keep in mind. But I'm feeling pretty good about this. That wind is directly behind us, so we can release on this side. Just to give us a bit of go forward. I'm not really too sure what the wind is doing at this point. Maybe if we tighten up on this side, yeah, so the jib won't catch the wind on the other side, maybe. Still heading forward, and we should get there just in time for bedtime. Turn her out a touch. Follow along the dock here, because we're aiming for this wall, but we're obviously not going to hit it. I say obviously. Those that have watched my previous episodes know that obvious is not a given here. Get her in a bit closer. And yep, I think I'm ready to head off and catch with the bowline. I need to learn how to turn off notifications on Steam actually. Right, we're docked up. I will fix the lines a little bit and pull in the sails, but yeah, I think that's the configuration we're going to go with for the rest of the Dhow part of this series. So as always, thank you very kindly for those that got involved with the poll. I'm just going to bring her up now. Thank you kindly to those who got involved with the poll. To those who have hung around long enough to see the poll come into fruition. And of course to anyone new that's joining us, I'm really excited for where this is going to go now. And I think we're getting closer and closer to our ocean voyage. So as always, I have been Shipwreck Sean. Thank you for joining, and see you guys next time.